Hey, happy Monday afternoon. Sarah here, founder, coach at Find Your Strong with Sarah, where we are tearing down the facade that fitness and nutrition is time consuming and complicated. Hopping on here live really quickly because I've been documenting it a lot on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, hop on over there. I love video, and so I'm always on Instagram stories. So if you're not following me, let's do it. Find Your Strong with Sarah on Instagram. So I am hopping on Facebook because I wanted to talk to you about the JLO diet. So JLO has been trending, and it's been really public, especially since she started her YouTube video, that she is and has been experimenting with 10 days of no carb, no sugar diets. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm sure I'm doing this differently than JLO, and I'm following like a generic plan off of the internet that was like tagged with the JLO diet stuff that looked fairly legit. So, two, I am not doing this for long term. I'm doing this as an experiment. I'm doing this to see how my body responds. I'm doing this to kind of do a reset because I have been eating so much sugar, so much carbohydrates, a lot of alcohol and baked goods and candy. And I really just want to reset and see what it's like to go completely without those things because I've never done it. Third, I forgot what number I was on. Third or four, I definitely believe in carbohydrates. I love carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are really important. They're really good for your athletic performance, for your workouts, for your fuel, for your body. Good carbs are good. Baked cookies all the time aren't the best. So that's why I say that this is temporary and this is an experiment because carbohydrates are crucial to any diet in any kind of lifestyle long term. And so I know that what I'm doing right now is not something I will be doing for more than the 7 or 8 days I'm planning on doing it right now. I'll probably do what JLo did. I'll take another 5 days off from it, and then I'll try to do it for 10 days. I just can't fit 10 days in right now because of my schedule, and I didn't want to use that as an excuse not to try it. So I'm going to try it for the best that I can do it. So basically I'm doing no dairy, no alcohol, no processed sugar, no carbohydrates. So, a lot of leafy greens, lean protein, vegetables, a lot of vegetables, a couple of pieces of fruit are allowed. So I'm doing some like strawberries and blackberries. And then for hiking or really high activity days that I don't have access to a kitchen, I'm allowing myself an apple and or a banana. And almond butter is allowed. It's actually funny. There's no almond butter, or there's no sugar in my almond butter. And there's no sugar in my balsamic vinaigrette Greek dressing that I found. So it's funny because there's sugar in everything. And when you start a no sugar diet, you're going to determine and discover for yourself that there's sugar in everything because you're looking at the labels. So things I'm not freaking out about, like my multivitamin probably has a little bit of artificial sugar in it, and I feel like I might be fighting a cold, so I'm taking Emergency, which probably has a little bit of sugar in it. But aside from that, like no carbohydrates, no couscous, no rice cakes, no Ezekiel sprouted bread, no pastries, no carbohydrates, no potatoes, nothing. I'm a carb fiend, so it's really challenging. I'm doing this, like I said, as an experiment. Like, why not? My watch is trying to talk to me. I'm doing it as an experiment and to do a reset. But it's also really interesting. I've been talking to some of my colleagues in the health and wellness industry about this. The night before I started the JLo diet, I had a girls' night and I overate carbohydrates that I would not normally eat and more than I would normally eat because I was mentally preparing myself to be without them for an extended amount of time. So just the realization that I was going to be doing this diet created a scarcity mindset for me around food, which caused me to overeat and to eat foods that I don't normally eat just to have them because they were going to be taken away. So that's really interesting. I've had really strong cravings out of habit. Not so much physical, but after every meal, I've craved something sweet. Normally I take the edge off with like a quarter of like a protein bar or a protein cookie, and I'm not doing any of those things because carbs and sugar. So the craving for something sweet after my meals has definitely been huge. I am a lifelong carbohydrate sugar junkie. I grew up hiding bags of candy in my bed as a child. So like this is something I've always shared and I always use as a foundation for how I coach my clients. It's not realistic for me for the rest of my life to never have candy or processed sugar. It's just not the way I want to live. But I do want to do this reset so that I can kind of bring it back into balance because sugar is really addicting and sugar and carbohydrate consumption can really get out of control. So the cravings for something sweet have definitely been high. And then it's funny because in the moment that I have the craving, I know I can't have that food and then it grows the craving stronger. So it's really interesting for me because it's been so many years since I've dieted. I haven't dieted since I've like become a nutrition coach and I've learned as much as I know about nutrition and practice moderation. But the minute we put restriction on ourselves, the cravings and the scarcity mindset for food items, it goes tenfold, which is why so many diets fail long-term is because they're too restrictive. They don't work with a real lifestyle, with real situations and real needs and habits and social lives and social skills and social events. They don't work within our real life. And so they fail us because they require so much willpower, and willpower is a muscle and it is exhaustible. At some point, if we are white knuckling, restricting ourselves so hard to say no to something, at some point we're going to give in. So I know that I'm going to do this for 7 or 8 days and I'm not going to give in to the cravings because it's an end in sight. But it also is proof that, and it's really telling for me, I hear my clients say like they in the past have tried diets and after they slip up, they go off the handle. And I understand that so much more now because you have so much riding on succeeding in this nutritional challenge that one thing wrong makes you feel like you completely fucking failed and you're an epic failure and that you might as well just like go for it and start again the next day. That is what we call in the industry as yo-yo dieting, and it's a really negative feed-forward cycle because again, no one's ever going to be perfect. Me not eating sugar is not going to last for more than 10 days maximum the next time I do this. So it's just being realistic with ourselves. But then, you know, with my position of being a coach and being an expert in this field, I can witness these behaviors and these tendencies as they're arising in my own journey with this 10-day JLO diet, which has been really interesting to see. So I've noticed an increase in cravings. I've noticed an increase in cravings and desiring of foods, surely, solely based on the fact of it's restricted and off limits. So it's the whole scarcity mindset around it. There's a lot of FOMO. So like I was going to grill some food last night and I was like, oh my God, I have to have a beer when I'm grilling. I have to have a drink. And I have a kitchen full of booze right now for the record. So it's not like it's out of the house. I'm just not going to drink it, which isn't too hard for me. But, you know, I'm grilling and I'm like, oh my God, I need a drink. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't have a drink. Oh my God, I can't have a drink all week. Oh my God, I have volleyball on Wednesday. I can't have a drink. So there's some of that mindset stuff going on. Thankfully, it's not that big of an issue with alcohol, but definitely some FOMO with like wanting to be able to have it. And then again, wanting it, having the craving or the thought of it, and then the realization that I can't have it increases the desire for it even more. So it's really like a feed forward cycle, which is what a lot of people get caught up in when they are dieting all the time. I fucking hate dieting. Dieting is so bad. We have to find a way to eat for our lifestyles, long-term and sustainably and enjoyably. And again, I'm saying this like 10 times, like this is not long-term for me. I'm not miserable. I'm not like dreading it. I actually enjoy some of the meals and I've enjoyed everything I've eaten so far, but it's only been 24. I started it yesterday morning, so it's been almost 48 hours. I'm sure at some point in the end of this week, I'm going to get tired of what I'm eating. So, yeah, I just wanted to get on and share that with you. So some of the things that come up for me and that come up for a lot of people that do this are obsession obsessing over what I'm eating, when I'm eating, what I can't have, what I can have, how much I can have, how much I can't have. I haven't experienced that in years because I don't diet. I haven't experienced that since I was dieting or doing really strict nutritional protocols. Cravings for things I can't have are pronounced right now. A lot of FOMO and the feelings of restriction and like, etc. And again, I'm doing this the first time for 7 or 8 days. It depends because of schedules. I'm going to do a 5-day off and then do it again for 10 days. I'm doing this as an experiment to just try it out. I'm really curious. I love JLo. I'm kind of obsessed with like her as a businesswoman. Plus she's like 51 and she is gorgeous. She is phenomenal. Not striving for that because it's not obtainable, because she has a lot of money that she invests in like skincare and chefs and, 2-a-day personal training sessions and like whatever kind of body treatments. I mean, it's on a whole other level. I just admire her work ethic in terms of staying healthy. So, and she's a babe. So yeah, I'll totally try something out that she's going to do because it sounds interesting. And I'm also doing it as a reset because leading into number 1, I noticed that I was eating a lot of carbs and I was getting a lot of sugar and processed sugar, and I wanted to reset my levels on that and just take some time away and see what came up for me and what the process was like. And of course, I'm curious to see how my body's going to respond. I'm curious to see how my workouts are going to be affected and respond, and everything: mood, sleep, hormones, energy, etc. So I wanted to share a little bit of that with you. And again, if you're not following me on Instagram, I'm sharing a lot of the food I'm eating in my stories on Instagram. So follow at Find Your Strong with Sarah. And I'll do some more of these to keep you in the loop. Send me your well wishes. Send me your well wishes in the comments. Tell me what you think. Am I crazy for doing this? I don't think I'm crazy, and I respect your opinion, but I think it's just really fun and interesting. And tell me if you've ever done anything like this. I'm curious if you've ever tried this, or if you ever would you ever try this? Okay, I'll talk to you soon.